Hello! Oh, that was very abrupt. I need to adjust that transition of the pumpkin. Hello everybody, how's it going? It's been a minute. Hello Oliver, hello Corey, that I have streamed. I'm Jack, UI UX designer, illustrator, animator, donut connoisseur. Although these days I feel like I need to say branding designer, illustrator, animator, donut connoisseur, since I don't do a lot of freelance UI UX work these days, and I need to get on that. I just got back from Portland. I was there last week for a WordPress conference. If you know what that is. If you know, you know. And what else can I tell you? Adobe Max is this month. I'll be going to Adobe Max in person, so I probably won't be streaming during that time. We'll see. We'll see. No promises. I'll be hosting the Illustrator Challenge this month as well, and we're gonna do some Halloweens. So I am also gonna do some Halloweens today, but we're gonna keep it very simple because ain't nobody got time for that. So over to my screen. Yes, thank you, Illustrator. Welcome, Unicorn. How's it going? I'm gonna start a new file. And just feel free to, oh my gosh, I have my screen really large because I want to make sure that people can read it when we're doing the challenges, so apologies that if this is like overwhelmingly large. It's a little bit for me, but maybe it's okay for you. All right, my computer open over here? What is that? Anyways, yeah, we're gonna work on some Halloween stuff. Let me know if you have any ideas. I need to keep it very simple because I will be doing Halloween themed challenges this month as well, so I don't want to overdo it. Anyways, is anybody in the chat going to be at Adobe Max this year? Let me know. I know it's quite the journey, quite the expensive journey. Definitely a cauldron. All right, so let's start to take some notes. I like the cauldron idea. You'll be near Adobe Max. Yeah, Corey will be coming with me, but not actually attending the conference. She just likes to hang out in Miami. You know, once a year, likes to go to Miami. What? You're a Miami man. Corey was there last year for no logical reason. Gosh. All right, we can do a cauldron. Let me, you'll be joining online. Yeah, I feel like a lot of folks will be joining online. I would like to try, and I don't know, oh my gosh, Corey, so before I get into it, because I can see Corey in the chat saying perfect for holding spoop. Before I went live, Corey's like, you should do you should write spoopy season with a ghost eating soup. Like soup season, but with a ghost and spooky. Yeah, Corey's like real into this idea. We discussed the flaws, why it's probably not the best idea. But I guess let me know if you're into it. Everybody be online. I would like to try to do, I don't know how feasible it will be. I would like to try to like go live maybe from like my Instagram or something and be like, hi, here's Adobe Max. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna throw some colors out. Also, welcome, PJ. Everything about it now, I believe it's a flawless idea. I hate you sometimes. Spoopy, spoop or spoopy or I don't listen. I'm real at a loss for how to spell this. Spoop season. Okay. Ghost eating soup. Because here's the thing, like then I have to draw like the ghost bits, like, you know, the soup bits in the ghost, because it's translucent. We'll think about, well, we have to workshop this idea a little bit more. I'm not 100% convinced, but I'm gonna throw some colors down in the meantime. Oh, also, the other thing I wanted to tell you guys about, since I haven't been doing a great job at this, admittedly, I am doing a talk at the Creative Pros Design Access. Gosh, I should know the name of it. Design and Accessibility Conference. Hold on. Yeah, Design and Accessibility Summit. So I'll be giving a talk at the Creative Pro Design and Accessibility Summit. I'll throw a link in the chat. Thank you, Corey. Corey's on it. If you want to attend and you're like, wow, that's really expensive, if you send me a DM, I don't have it handy, which is why I'm not gonna just like throw it in the chat, but I have a discount code if you want to attend. It's an online event. I know it kind of like overlaps Adobe Max by like a day. You're a mod, Corey. I can see your little shield. What?
Refresh.
Okay. Ghost eating soup made of ghosts. I don't love that idea. Yeah, but so if you want to attend the Creative Pro Summit, the Design and Accessibility Summit, send me a DM or something, and I can send you a discount code for it. It's a 4-day virtual conference, so you don't have to attend in person. I'll be giving a talk on creating designing accessible graphics. So we'll be talking about a lot of the stuff that you guys know that I focus on kind of already, I guess, which is like, hold on. Corey, you're throwing me off here. I'm not sure what's going on. It looks like there's some issue with Behance live streaming, which at this point doesn't surprise me. Give me 1 second. Oh, it does. So it looks like, yeah. I don't know what has happened here. Alright, I think you should be good now, Corey. And welcome, Josie. I need to get on this. I'm trying to do too many things at once, you guys. I need to get on this cauldron situation. And make some colors. I feel like you know the video of the puppy that's like running around and then it tries to bite the leaf and then it like falls on the ground and then it runs toward the camera and then it tries to pick up a ball. That's what I feel like right now. Just in case you were wondering. Alright, we need some colors. I need some fall colors. I'm gonna go little brown. Little orange. We need to bring that back in to control here. A little too crazy. There we go. Some Cody Bear colors. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I'm having trouble with this red orange though. There we go. I went like right. I'm still not satisfied. Ooh, there we go. I like that color. And then we'll do like yellow. I want like a yellow. You know what I mean? There we go. And then maybe we'll do like a green. I'm just kind of doing this on the fly. So, like a lighter color. Alessandra, welcome. What other color do I want to throw in here? I need like a lighter color. I'll do like a blue, but like really gray. Go more into the greens. All right, I don't know. I don't love this orange. I can't get the orange that I want. We went to this farm that alpacas too, and some yummy stuff. Do they have like cider donuts? You know what, we're just gonna leave it for now. I guess it's a little bit better. Yes, they did. Yeah, that's like the ultimate fall. We're gonna make these process colors. I'm just gonna leave that the way it is now. All right, I'm gonna start with these colors. I don't love it. Let's also get some layers going. I'm gonna lock this group. Let's start on our cauldron. Oh, you know what? I probably should have picked like cauldron colors. That would have probably helped Jack. All right, probably need to see a little bit of the top, right? I just did a Google search for cauldrons. Just FYI. As of yesterday, I now have a pumpkin-shaped mug and a light-up ghost ornament. Has everybody put up their Halloween decorations? I have not yet. You bought a Windows laptop yesterday because I can't get Substance 3D Modeler on macOS. Oh, I didn't know that. I know that when it first came out and it was in like beta, it was Mac exclusive, but I didn't know that was still the case. All right, we're gonna start with a nice dark brown. There are so many ways you can go about approaching this. This is just how I've decided to do it today. And I'm actually gonna start with, we'll do some paths so I can actually see the shapes I'm working with. And I'm gonna put something like this. I don't want it to be as wide as the rim, I don't think. Halloween ornaments? Oh, did I say ornaments and not decorations? Wait. If I did, that was my bad. Alright, let's make this. Okay, I don't love that shape. I think I want... I definitely want the bottom to be very round. Let me try this. I'm gonna use the free transform tool. And I'm gonna pull this shape in. I feel like I've just not really done anything there. I guess so. Because I want to have like this. I know that looks weird, but if you kind of imagine it all as one shape, you can see the vision. Also, another little surprise, I don't know if you guys are big fans. I don't know if you remember Kara Sykes. I saw she went live yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh, I love her. So if you go get a chance to watch the replay, I was very excited to see she was back streaming on Behance. PJ says 3D from Illustrator is workable with skill honing, but the steps to get to a 3D printer are a headache. Yeah, well, PJ, yes, I did a whole project on that, and it's actually quite interesting because Illustrator doesn't have real 3D space. So you can create an object that looks like it's kind of like objects that are kind of like visually connected, but then when you go to export it, it actually keeps the original position of the objects. So like let me show you a quick example. And hopefully you don't crash Illustrator. So if I just make a square and I go to Effect, 3D and Materials, we'll just do an extrude bevel. And I'm gonna give it a minute. So you can see here, I'm gonna make it quite big. If I were to go to export this, it would keep, let's make two objects, right? Now, from looking at this, you would think that like this object would be placed kind of in front of the other one and kind of like in the position that it is visually, but actually when you export this out as an OBJ, you bring it into something like Blender, you bring it into Cura or something like that, it keeps the original position of these shapes. So if I go to the appearance panel, if I hide that, it's basing the position off of my original squares, which means they end up kind of like flattened into each other in like a weird way. And you have to like deal with that. So it's kind of tricky in that like that doesn't keep the 3D space, at least how it visually looks. Hopefully that makes sense, but we're gonna get rid of all that. Yeah, fake 3D. It's interesting. Certainly if you want to do more complex stuff, you're better off using something like a true 3D program like Substance. It's just that there's quite a learning curve. Alright, we're gonna add some little feats here, but I want them to be, I have a vision, so we're gonna do like little feats. Okay, I don't love those. We again need to workshop this. Let's undo this. Don't mind me. Just trying to. Getting there. It's out. Let's delete this point. There we go. Align all objects to 3D view from the top down, then group and export. Yeah, you can do that, but you still have to like position them, if that makes sense. Like, there's no, you end up having to like reposition the export no matter what you kind of do. I want to see what this looks like combined. Okay, I do like that. Okay, that's cute. And then we need handles. As any good cauldron needs. Let's do something like this. Just to get started here. I'm gonna leave it there. And then actually I probably should have done this. Just to make sure that I've got the sides consistent. Oh, my smart guides are having a time. There we go. Let's bring this up. What's that? Wonder if I have like little hands. Would that be weird to have like a little hand here? I'm gonna that's not what I want. Grab this. I actually probably shouldn't have gotten rid of that. Alright, let's undo that. Actually, maybe I'm deciding. See Alexander from Elden Ring? I'm trying to get these points connected. Hi Barbara, welcome. For a very specific reason, you'll see in a sec. I'm not gonna keep this shape, but I want it to serve a purpose. Alright, let's go to Pathfinder. Oh my gosh, I don't have Pathfinder open. Well, it's okay, we can just use Shape Builder to pull these together. I don't want to delete that. Oh yes, I do. Okay, join. All that just because I want to, like, merge these two shapes. This is not exactly aligned. That's okay. So I can do this. What's up here? I want like a curve there. Okay, there we go. And then I want to do the same thing down here. It's a very roundabout way to go about doing this, but I'm gonna delete this and rejoin. Bandango, welcome. You're a UI UX designer. Well, you're in good company. Oh man, this just rounded those points out too. I didn't want to do that. All right, let's pull that back out. All right, so making a little, it seems quite large. Did I make this too large? It's okay, we can adjust. Just move this up. But then I have to move all those points around. This is why I should have looked at it before we got to this point, you guys. Is that better? I feel like that looks a little better. Yeah. Such is life. That's good. I'm fine with that. Now I need to move this. Start with this point. I'm thinking that I'm gonna build the hand off of this, but I need to, first I need to load this thing that Corey's talking about, so I'm gonna take a look at that. Alexander from Elden Ring. PJ, sounds like you've done a lot more troubleshooting with I'm not an Elden Ring player. Iron Fist Alexander? Oh, look at that. It's a, what is it? The center of that? Is that a lid?
It's a wax.
It's a what?
Wax lid seal.
Yeah, okay. Corey's giving me the exact terminology. It's called a wax. A wax lid.
No, I said wax.
Wax? Oh, a wax lid. Listen, I don't know. Oh, that's cute. I think the arms are too long though, and I don't like the claw feet. I want something like cuter. Umacorn's confused because I pronounced it Umacorn. It's me. I just did not. I have my headphones on, so that I can hear the music while I can hear the same music that you're hearing while I work. Because sometimes people ask about the music, and I have to. By the way, the music's by Yoann Turpin. But yes, Wax, WAX, Wax lid. I was just misheard. I thought Corey said something else entirely. I'm not an Elden Ring player. It's not my jam, but I see what's going on. The arms are just really big on this one. I don't love it. Although I do love the detailing. Should we make? See, now we're going down the rabbit hole, you guys, where I'm like, I don't want to make this super detailed, and I don't have time, and I want to keep it really straightforward for this month's October. But now we're doing soup season. Spoopies. Spoop? Shut up. Ghosts, there's a ghost. I don't know what's happening. Welcome, MD. Tell me about a new 3D printer that's working really well and I want to design for it. Oh yeah, you should. I support it. But we're also doing, I also want to say, this is kind of like I'm just having fun with this. We are gonna do some actual Halloween illustrating for the Illustrator challenges. So if you want to join that, I need to find like a reference of like hands on hips. Oh, the weird things you search for when you're an illustrator. Should we do like hands coming over? Actually, that might be a better plan. It should be like human hands. Also, V2 thumbnail, welcome. I should turn on my notifications, so if any of you are following me, I can actually know. Because I never have them on. And then I miss everything. And then I feel bad because I didn't get to thank anybody. Melissa, thank you so much for the follow, for example. I would have missed that entirely. Let's do a little thanks for the follow. Thank you. Alright, so where were we? We're gonna add little hands. Or should they be like little creature-y hands? I don't know. Maybe we just block them in for now, because this is still kind of very sketchy. And we'll figure it out later. That's my philosophy on life. So we'll do a little. I'm gonna add a little like this. This has to like dip down a little bit more, like a hand. And then we'll have fingers come up and over. So starting here. I really need to have, let's pull this up. Hi Frexen. Frexen Edits. Let me know if I'm mispronouncing anybody's name. I'm gonna square them off and I'll round them after the fact. I just want to get them in position. And then this is gonna come under here. Pull this back. This is gonna be here. This needs to come up higher. All right. All right, this actually is a bit. That's gonna let me bring this up a little bit farther too. PJ's out. Happy Friday. Hope you had a great weekend, PJ. Thanks for joining. Need to make these a little bit narrower at the ends. Like such. This needs to be shorter. Copy this. Copy this. I'm just gonna copy these down. This is gonna be just trying to get everything in position. The thumb would be behind. This finger is not in the right spot. I'm having trouble with this. Or just all of this needs to move up. Okay, I think I need to just move everything, all this, the handle pieces back. Oh no, are we having stream issues?
No.
Okay. I'm always trying to make sure. I don't want to. Okay. That looks better. And then I would need to pull this back a little bit. Basically, what I'm trying to do here, the style of the fingers don't really matter as much right now to me. I'm trying to get the positioning of everything accurate to like how it would be placed on a cauldron arm. I know it's a strange process here. Okay, that looks pretty good. If we zoom out and take a look at that hand, I do feel like this, I keep going back and forth about the position of this, if I want it pointed down. I feel like down is better. Okay, that's pretty good. And I mean, I don't have like the style of the fingers, but like a sketch, I think that's a pretty good position of everything. And for now, when I finalize these, I can kind of get them to look a little bit more unique on each side, but I'm probably gonna just move them over for the time being, if that makes sense. Copy and mirror them. Reflect is the word I'm looking for. Okay. Actually, let's do this too. I'm gonna add another point here. and round this out. And then for this, I'm gonna bring this up. Just so it connects correctly. If we look at this is gonna be in front, so you won't actually see that line, but I mean, it does kind of bother me. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna there we go. That's fine. Now we don't have to look at that. All right, I'm gonna bring this set of things down here. Select all of this, group, copy and paste. Oh, nope. Make sure we got everything. We can do the same thing with the foot too. Make it a little bit like the feet, make them slightly different so they're not exactly symmetrical. But this is just for, oh my gosh, that is so cute. I'm so glad that we went with cauldron for this because I really like the way that it looks. It's a little cutie. Hi, Sean. Good morning. Actually, it's evening for you. I think it's like 2? Is it like 2 p.m. there? Am I close? Almost 3? Almost 4. Not even remotely close. I was way off. That's okay. So we need to have so we got our cauldron sketched out. I'm not gonna start detailing this in yet. So we have to figure out if we're doing soup season or spoop season, I'm gonna just keep doing that. Sean, you missed a whole thing. So for those that have just joined or missed the conversation earlier, Umacorn recommended, I think it was Umacorn recommended we do a cauldron. So this is my Halloween project. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible because I'm going to be out for Adobe Max and also I'm doing the Illustrator challenges this month. It's not even October, but I'm counting today as October. Don't apologize, Umacorn, I love the idea. But I was like, I'm going to keep it simple. Last year I was also going to keep it simple and I was just going to do the Baba Yaga and I was like, now I'm drawing a whole house. So, anyways, so Umacorn suggested cauldron, and then Corey had, before I went live, was like, you need to do spoop season, do like soup season, if you guys are familiar with that. I guess it's kind of like a meme, it's kind of like become a thing the past couple of years, where it's like a joke, like fall is like soup season. I think that it started maybe with that Seinfeld thing. I think Seinfeld, there was a soup season, there's a soup season joke in Seinfeld, and it sort of spun off from there. So Corey was like, you should do a ghost eating soup and have it be spoop season. S-P-O-U-P, soup and spoop combined. So that's where we're at. And I need to figure out, I guess I need to figure out what a ghost eating soup looks like. Is kind of the next step here in this process. And if it should be like, I guess it should be behind, right? It should be like hey, chillin'. I don't know. Let me know. Help me, chat. Save me from this insanity. Or it could be making spoop. All right, well, let's ghost it up either way. And I'm gonna start with, I don't say this often, or maybe I haven't said this before. I probably mentioned this before. So I try to keep my, maybe I should do this off to the side to get the angle right that I want. I try to keep, what am I trying to say? I try to keep the tools that I use to like vanilla Illustrator, right? So that, because when I'm doing this, I'm trying to make sure that like people can follow along with what I'm doing. It's important to me that y'all can follow what I'm doing. Regardless, there are some times when I do wish that I had, some other tools at my disposal. For example, Astute Graphics makes a really great tool for what I'm kind of doing here. It's a set of plugins, but they're super expensive, and I just don't feel like it's fair to the community for me to use those tools if they're not accessible to you all. So I try to avoid using them because I don't want to end up kind of relying on them as a part of my process, is the other thing. I feel like I want to be able to use vanilla Illustrator to the best of my ability. Anyways, there's a tool for doing this kind of thing with like shapes that sometimes I wish I had. To make ghosts. I don't love that. Alright, let's try again. Let's do this. I'm just gonna do 2 shapes this time. I have like a specific goal in mind here. Also, hello to Ray. I didn't get a chance to say hi. Alright. So now I can merge these 2 top shapes. I'm gonna use a simplify on this as well. Oh, there's extra, that's why. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe I don't actually need to simplify, I just need to get rid of that extra stuff. Alright. Everybody's saying hi to Ray. Ray's good people. Always hanging out on Adobe Live, chatting it up. Ray, I feel like I should have clicked on your profile. I feel like you're a video guy. No, not a video guy. I always catch you in the video streams. I could look at your profile. That would probably help. Oh, you're doing the Express Challenge with Izzy? And you've done, man, I've been missing out. And you've done the Photoshop Challenge in 2019. You've been around. You've been around longer than I have. Oh, yeah. Oh, I do remember you sharing your Express challenges with the Star Trek stuff. Yeah, I remember these. All right, I don't love this ghost. I'm having a time today with this. I'm gonna have it behind, so honestly, I don't care about the bottom of this. Looks like a Smurf hat. It's not great. Oh my gosh, what is happening? There we go. I think it needs to be smaller. I want like a little ghost. Little ghost peeking. Okay, and then we'll add maybe little handies, little hands. Hey, Vikram. Does the ghost need to be holding a spoon? This is a question for the chat. Or is the ghost just peeking? Stirring, okay. I'm gonna do the same thing here, I think. Actually, I know what we can do. Why didn't I think about doing this earlier? I'm gonna show you. So instead of trying to join shapes that way, I'm just gonna make a rectangle. I'm gonna round it, and then I'm gonna go to Object. What am I looking for? Envelope Distort, and I'm gonna choose Make with Warp. I'm just gonna use a vertical. There we go. That's much better. Okay. If you want to edit, little pro tip for you. Stirring, oh, you just had to make it so much more difficult for me. I'm just joking. If you ever want to edit, so with an envelope distort, I think sometimes people get a little bit confused here. So when you make an envelope distort, I've shown you this with the mockup tool. I'm going to show it to you with the envelope warp now. So when you use a warp or you make an envelope distort, they're all kind of the same thing. You're taking an object and you're distorting it. Or you can do that with a mesh. But it makes this special envelope distort group, and you actually have some options up here at the top that I don't know people necessarily know about. In the control bar, which you can enable by going under View, as long as that's checked on. I think it might be in the Properties panel as well, the same settings. Yeah, no, it's not. Look at that. So yeah, that's bad. But in the envelope distort, you can either edit the envelope, which means you could manipulate these points if you wanted to. You're basically editing the mesh that's distorting your object, right? You can also edit it if you've got one of the warps applied. You can edit it from up here, or you can hop back into the settings. So if you wanted to change the amount of bend, for example, on the arch, or you wanted to pick a different one, you can do so. But if you click on this, edit contents, it's going to take you into the option to edit the object itself again. So if I wanted to make this a little bit shorter, for example, and then we want to go back to editing our envelope distort, we can do so. So you can adjust the shape itself if you want to make things smaller or bigger. And then you can hop back, making sure you got the regular selection tool, hop back and forth and make adjustments as needed. So just a little tip for you. Also, Yash is asking how many days it takes to learn Illustrator. Honestly, it depends on what you are trying to what your goal is with Illustrator. You can learn the basics of Illustrator really in a couple days. But in order to be able to do more complex things with Illustrator, it takes a long time to sort of develop your process, right? And figure out what tools you prefer to use. So, it depends, I would say. Are saying, yeah, I should do a whole course in college, not just a few days. Yeah, I mean, it depends on, I don't want to scare people away and be like, it takes a lifetime. It really does depend on your goals. If you're really determined to use it, yeah, it depends on what you want to use it for. Like, what do you want to get out of it? Handle as a nose? You mean the I should have on the front here on the cauldron? I briefly thought about what to do with the if I wanted to add a handle on this, and I haven't gotten there yet. And Sean is also sharing the Illustrator challenges, which are a great place to learn. I'll actually be doing next month, so I'll be doing October's shortly. So if you want to come and hang out with me, be happy to have you. I'm gonna do a couple things here. First, I'm gonna make this a little bit rounder. And then I'm gonna add some shapes down here. All right, so we're gonna cut this. And I'm gonna merge these. And then we're gonna adjust this. Actually, I'm gonna remove these. Gonna bring these up. I'm gonna go to simplify. I still 2 points here? No, okay. Whoop. I don't love that. You know what I think I need to do? I need to go this way. There we go. Okay, let's delete this side. Oop, I just hit full screen by accident. Oh my gosh, there we go. Nate's here! Hello, Nate. Make it a little ghosty. Trying to, anyways. I don't love this, but it's getting there. Let's shift this a little bit. All right, let me see what this looks like darker. I do kind of like that. But it needs something. I just don't know what. Sad dancing? Oh, it's just horrified because it's a ghost. You know, as you do. I don't know what else to oh, you know what's gonna be a problem? No, I didn't think about this. We're not gonna be able to actually see the ghost eating soup. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe that's not important. Of course, it's just not important. Yeah, so I'm gonna make these shapes here all fills for the time being. I just want to start to see how everything looks together. So we're gonna do a little bit of cleanup here. So we're gonna make all of this filled. Actually, not this. For the time being, I'm just gonna make this a lighter fill, just so I can see it. I just want to see everything together for a moment. We'll make our ghosty have this color, and then we'll do, I need to actually edit the original shapes here. Need to have a smirk face. Well, I guess chat, you tell me, should my ghost be ghosting, or should it be happy? Should this be a happy or sad ghost? Sad ghost. The eyes need to be a little smaller. Depends on the spoop. Yeah, we haven't discussed what variety of soup is happening. Look like he's hiding. I mean, maybe. Let me grab. So let's just start with a color here. I'm gonna make a clipping mask. I don't think the soup is gonna occupy this much space, but you know, you never know. Jack-o'-lantern soup? Could be. Could be. Obviously I need to add the other hand over here. I haven't quite figured that out yet. I also kind of want to put a frog in it. Maybe that's weird, but you know, with eyes floating. Oh God. Jack-o'-lantern soup. All right, I'll write a note up here. We do got the colors. I haven't figured out how to work the green in yet. You know, maybe the ghosts actually. Maybe this should be a green instead. Actually, I don't love that. I guess the green will be for some shading on this. And maybe the spoon or something. But we do have an orange and a yellow to work with, so. Let's make sure we note that down in my layers. So we'll say this is art for now, and this is notes. Working? I don't know. We'll do working. All right. Jack lantern soup. Loading eyes in soup. All right. I need to put that the ghost stirring spoon. And there was another note, something about the handle. Let me scroll up. Make sure I have all my notes in order. Has anyone played the new pen tool feature? Saw something on YouTube last night. Nate, I think that's only available on Illustrator on the web, the quick pen tool. I don't think that's a feature that's on the desktop. So if you can. Actually, I'm not going to open my Illustrator or my Creative Cloud because I don't know what will appear. But in your Creative Cloud app, let me just check on my other screen. If you go to, I always move this around, so I have a hard time. Discover maybe, and you click on Illustrator. Maybe not. I know there's a place to get to the web apps. And I'm not giving you any sort of secrets because they this has been like a public beta for a while. I just don't know how to find it from my app anymore. Anyways, there is a way, beta. There's a way to get to it. But that's, the Quick Pen is, as far as I know, only currently available with Illustrator on the web. So, and I'm struggling to find where that is right now. I just did a search. I'm not seeing it. In the app section, okay, Oliver's got some advice for us. In the app section, click on the 3 dots on AI and then open your web. Oh, okay. So it's very hidden in there. Yeah, so if you go, yeah, that's wild. If you go to Illustrator, there in the Illustrator window, there's 3 dots, and if you click on those 3 dots, you can hit open in browser or get tablet app. If you open in browser, that'll take you to the web app. You can work with cloud documents similar to Illustrator on the iPad, and bring it into Illustrator on the desktop. But the Quick Pen tool, the thing that you're talking about, is only available on the web. Not sure why, it's just one of those things. Okay. Where are we? Where are we with this? You're envisioning chunks of pumpkin floating in the shape of a jack-o'-lantern face. That's also a good idea. Let's in there. I need to make this a little smaller. We're also gonna clean this up by making it have a paragraph style. If you didn't know this has been around for a while. Oh, I guess it's up here too. You can add bullet points, which I should do more of. Floating chunks. Ghost. All right. Notes are captured. Also, we haven't saved this at all. So we should do that. I'm just gonna leave it for now. Yes, it's titled Untitled. I just wanna make sure that I got it saved. Edie's here. You can also, Oliver's saying, you can also change your drop down at the top right to web, and then we'll show the web abstract, the inner apps. Okay. I know there was a place to find all of the web apps. I just wasn't, I feel like they keep moving things around on me and it's throwing me off. There's a place, so if you follow Oliver's suggestion there, you can get to the web apps. Yeah, you go to apps, all platforms. I should have known that just by reading it. If you, reading is good. And click on web. That'll take you there. So yeah, it's fine. This is fine. I know what I'm doing. You should trust me. Let me, I have so many tabs open, you guys. I'm trying to get back to Behance so that I can make sure I'm not missing anything important. Hold on. There it is. Okay. Ray, thank you for the follow. See, I was missing something important. Man, I don't know what's going on with my notifications. It used to be that it was very easy to like silence them and not silence them. Also, hello over on YouTube. I see you, Sean. Souptober. I love that. There's, oh my gosh. Don't even give me ideas. This is the problem. This is the problem. You guys give me ideas and I'm like, I have to, then I'm like, I want to do that. So again, I'm all over the place. First things first, thanks for the follow, Ray. You get some donuts. Also, Minaz over on YouTube, I am doing well. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry I missed your comment 30 minutes ago. The thing is, it's very easy to do the pop-out chat on Behance, and then I don't do that with any other platforms. I'm also on Behance, on YouTube, and on Twitch, so if I miss you over on Twitch or on YouTube, I do apologize. But I appreciate you joining from over there. Love to see it, especially when you say nice things and it's not just spam. So yeah, I would Souptober. I would love that. I would love to do in my, if I had infinite free time and 37 copies of myself, I would do a whole Souptober thing where I just do illustrated recipes of soup. You know, but I don't live in a dream world, so such is life. All right, more viewers, yeah. All right, so I need to, this is bothering me that we can't actually see the edge here. Let's actually add a little bit of something here. Hooray for soup season. I have Souptober recipe, but it's only pumpkin, that's as far as I've got. Yeah, this is gonna be, I guess, a pumpkin soup as determined by the people. So we're gonna go for it. I need to make like a... I'm just gonna make a compound path. There we go. Alright, so that makes me feel a little better. Now that you can actually see that there's, you know... Okay. Not just a... I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Not just a hard edge on that. So, what was I doing? I was contemplating whether I was going to add a frog to this or not, is really what it was. Although I guess we need to add eyes to it. In the soup, yeah. I wanted to put like a little froggo, like, you know, like the frog's chilling. Alright, let's focus on getting some an eyeball in here. I'm gonna use this gray and pull it down. I'm gonna squish it a little bit. Okay. And then we're gonna add let's see, yellow. Hang on. I want to actually... let's... Okay, that looks good, actually. Yes, I do like that. Alright, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna move this up. I'm gonna make this so. You know, now that I'm looking at this, I feel like I've gone the wrong way. Like, you should be looking at the soup. You're saying, dang, I lost my eye. I mean, did do that. We need to do. All right, let's. Got an eye. We've got a concept here. We need to figure out. I need to figure out how to put the like pumpkin face in here. grab a polygon. I'm just figuring out like the base of the shapes. And then we need a, let's look at jack-o'-lantern. What kind of like carved out face shape do we want to go with? A lot of variety to choose from. I feel like we should go with something classic so it's recognizable. Potentially. I'm gonna do that over here just so I can see it. Actually, I should probably be able to see it because it's gray. Okay, yeah. And I'm consciously making the effort to not make this be perfect because I want it to look like it's actually been like hand carved. Okay, let's go with that. Move this over to our, that's the working layer eventually. Let's go here. And we want to squish this down. It's a little small compared to the eyes. Let's make it a little bigger. Use. Come on. How do we feel about that in terms of positioning? I need to get the story to match my illustrations and title, put it all together. Goldilocks and the Three Scares. I mean, it already sounds like you've got a working title there. Alright, now we need to sort out what these look like floating in the soup. We're gonna start with a dark orange. You can make them parallel the eyes and the lips. Well, I don't want to, yeah, but I would, they're sort of meant to be like floating, and so I don't want them to be like exactly perfect, since I want them to feel like they're floating in the soup. And you only really get the impression that it's a face if you're like, if you're looking. I don't want, if I make them too obvious, then it doesn't feel like chunks of pumpkin floating in the soup. We're gonna add some depth to them to make them look like chunks of pumpkin. And Corey made a reference to, gosh, the Zelda pumpkin soup, I think earlier on with the, recipe that he posted. So I'm gonna take a look through that. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Ooh, a floating candle, that's a good idea. soup Yeto. I kept thinking like Yurta for some reason, but it was not the case. I just want to get a picture from the game because I feel like in the game they have a lot of like chunks of stuff floating around. Just to see. Okay, here we go. This is a pretty good. I just want to see what it would look like. All right, so there we go. I'm gonna start to try to like pull some of these shapes out. So what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger and paste this in front, and we're gonna make this lighter. Actually, go with a light yellow. And then we're gonna pull this up, and then I'm gonna pull one of the sides down. So I'm trying to make it look like an uneven chunk of squash. So, kind of like this. Right now I'm just kind of testing the theory. I might change my mind, but I'm gonna go with this color, and then on the side here, I'm gonna go lighter. You see the vision? It's meant to look like a floating chunk of something in the soup. And then this is meant to be the shadow. So that's why I don't want them. Like if we were going for just like a face, a purva, I would have them be more exact, but we're going for like a rustic kind of a look. And then even here, what I'll probably do, I'll probably add a line in the darker color. And then we'll go here. I'm gonna make this. Right, and then I'll go here. I'm gonna isolate this path. I'm gonna add another point. Ooh, I'll show you. Let's make sure we actually isolate. I'll show you one of my favorite little tricks here. We're gonna go over this during the challenge too. So I added a point here, so I've split this basically into two sections. I'm gonna go to the curvature pen, and I'm just gonna pull this up. So that's like a really easy way to add like a bump out in something. And let's go back down. So you can see it kind of looks like, you know, a pumpkin then. And we can do. I probably want to do this on all sides, so I'll go over here and I'll pull this up too. See? It starts to look like a little pumpkin. Which is what I'm going for. And then I would also lighten this. And maybe honestly make this a little bit bigger. So cute. I love that. What a great idea. I love it. Chat, you're the best. You guys always come up with the funnest ideas. I'm gonna need to do this side. Robert, it's nice to see you. Welcome to the chat. And so, I guess some subconscious things, I'm always trying to think of like, what can I tell you about my thought process as I'm doing it? Some subconscious things that I'm doing, since I've started to add a little bit of shading, I'm thinking about like, where's my light source? And in this case, I'm imagining that the light source is coming from the upper left. That's generally the light source that I work with, but it gets a little bit tricky here because we've got the lighter inside of the flesh of the pumpkin, and then you've got the darker outside. So even though this color is darker, it's actually lighter. It's just darker overall in value than the inside. So this looks like maybe my lighting is from the front, but actually kind of envisioning it coming from like the upper left a little bit towards the front, because I have got my shadow kind of going off towards the back a little bit. No, actually I do have it kind of towards the front, so maybe it's from true upper left. So as I'm doing this, I want to make sure that like whatever I did over here, I'm keeping it consistent over here. So I've added my shadow kind of in the same position. I just want to make sure that you know what I'm doing as I'm doing it, basically. Exaggerate this. I'm really gonna make this one kind of tricky. All right, there we go. We'll do the same thing, right? I'll add my corners in here. I thought briefly about making these, and I'm also having to be careful about like the soup. The pumpkin chunks should be lighter than the soup here for contrast reasons. So I could make this side a little bit darker probably, but I don't want to do that since I don't want them to kind of disappear in the soup, quite literally. And we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna add a little bit of a like indication that this is pumpkin, right? We wanna let the viewer know what this material is. Add a point, switch the curvature, pull this up, pull this up. We'll do the same thing on the side. I haven't figured out, I'll probably alter this side over here too yet, but let's make sure we've got the curvature pen tool and pull this up. The other nice thing with the curvature pen tool and Smart Guides, you can see that as I pull it up, it's actually aligning to the other shape. Like they snap together, which is nice. There's the eyes, and then we'll need to do the same thing. Oh no, Robert's saying, had a big problem with Illustrator this morning. Crashed 10 times in 1 hour. I actually, if there's an update that came out today, I haven't actually done it yet, so I'll have to keep that in mind. I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna pull the side down. Pull the side up. There we go. See, so kind of even before I've added the in-between shapes there, you can see it looks like, you know, pieces floating in the soup. And they're kind of sinking in places, you know, if that makes sense. I'll have to look. I don't know. I have my auto update set, but I've also had Illustrator open. So it doesn't typically update if you've got it open. Well, it can't update if you have it open. So let me look at my updates. I only have an update to Photoshop. I don't have a Illustrator update this morning. I can check for updates. What version do you happen to be on, Robert? Not that I'll be able to really troubleshoot. You're better off just honestly rolling back. I would say contacting support, but I'm I'm not gonna say that today for reasons. No, I don't have an Illustrator update. Okay, back on here. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna copy these shapes. There's a couple of ways you could do this. This is one of the, I guess, one of the advantages to using the, one of the advantages to using the 3D effects, at least the classic 3D where you can get vector paths, is that it does kind of eliminate this process for you. I'm sure that there's so many ways to do something like this in Illustrator, but I've already kind of gone down this rabbit hole, so we're gonna just kind of stick with it. I'm gonna cut each of these at the points, and I'm gonna join these. But if you use like the 3D, the classic 3D, and you use an extrude, there's ways you can get just like flat color by turning off the shading, and that would be preferential because it's a little bit more of a non-destructive workflow. But in this case, I've gone down this route, so I'm just gonna stick here. Alright, we'll come back to that. And then there's little things like this that they're not, it's not, you could probably, let me just do it this way. So what you saw, what I finished my thought is that the points were actually reversed. So let me give you an example of this, because this is important. And it's a little bit hard to explain verbally, so I'm gonna explain what just happened there as soon as I get the colors in before I forget. So, if you didn't know, so Illustrator works with, vector paths. Let's cut this. I'm gonna cut out this shape here real quick. And vector paths, these vector paths actually have like a start and an end point. Like they have an order of points. And that is important in some cases. So let me give you an example. I'm gonna draw a line. I'm gonna add a color to it. I'm gonna copy and paste the same line, right? And if I join these, because I haven't done anything with this shape, it actually joins them perfectly on the two sides because I copied the same paths. They both have the same starting and ending point. But if I modify this, so if I click on the end point here, when I click on that point, it changes the start and end points so that when I join these, I click on the other point. Now I've altered the start and end point, so it's not gonna work. It's gonna give me a hard time. It's more evident when you have a blend. All right, let's use a blend. So I've made a blend. We need to go to Object, Blend, Options. Increase the number of steps here. What is happening? Why is my blend not working? Well, I wanted to show you, it didn't make a blend. Blend, make. Okay. So you can see here, this is exactly what I want for my blend, but if for some reason the start and end points were reversed, you get this weird effect, right? Because what it's actually doing is it's trying to blend from, if you were to label these points, 1 and 2, right? We only have 2 anchor points, and in Illustrator's mind, these have properties assigned to them. What we want to happen for our blends to go straight across is for these points to both be the same. So the starting points are the same and the ending points are the same. What's happening here is they're actually reversed. So you've got 2 and you've got 1. In order to fix this, generally you could just re-tap on the point and now I've reset it so that they're correct. It's just like a little thing that can be a little bit weird if it happens, it's not very obvious how you can fix it. But once you understand that Illustrator kind of like understands the start and end points and like tries to blend between those, you can kind of understand why that happens. So if you're confused, I'm sorry. But if you know, you know. If you've ever had that happen before to you. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup here. I'm gonna stream until about 10. Just FYI. So I'm gonna clean things up a little bit here. I'm gonna group my ghost, except for the hand, which needs to be a separate group so it stays on top. There are ways to get around that using masks, but for now I'm just gonna group that. And then our eye is fine. I'm gonna hide all of this. And then I'm gonna group these pieces here. I just like to stay a little bit organized. As much as I can. We can also add some more eyes. And I would do the same thing with the eye as well here. So I would do... I didn't get around to it. I'm sort of doing things a little chaotically, which tends to happen when you're working fast. Actually, you know what I would do? This is not right. I'm gonna show you the right way to do it. I would add a shape. And I'll make this probably I'm gonna make this a little smaller. Yeah, I would do something like that as well for the eye to have it kind of coming through. Let me check my notes. We've got the eye, we've got one eye. We need to kind of add a couple more. I'm gonna put this on my working layer just so I have it and with my notes in case I need that mouth shape. I do like to keep things, copies of things, just in case I need to go back to them. Like if we decide actually we hate the position of this mouth and we want to kind of redo it, I can start from my original base shape here, which I do like, and reposition it and redraw it essentially. So there we go. We've got our cauldron, we've got our ghost, we've got our soup, we've got the eyes, we've got the chunks of pumpkin. We need the ghost stirring. First saying, Jack, do you have displacement maps on Illustrator like Photoshop? Displacement maps? Do you mean like 3D displacement maps? You have the mock-up tool, which lets you, which creates like a depth map out of an image. It's kind of invisible. I guess you can see it in the opacity mask though, and so in the transparency window, but it does not. See Jack's like last Illustrator challenge. I also did a pro tip. Did you pro tips on No, I didn't do a pro tip on the mock-up beta, but I have done a couple challenges on it. But it depends on what you mean by displacement. Maybe you can elaborate and I can help answer that question better. I can't decide if I don't love the ghost's face, but I don't really know where else to go with it. And I need to add the spoon. I've seen Jesus use it to make water look lively. I will give you my tip on making water. There's an effect in Illustrator that is really great for that. So let's see. Let me see if I can remember how to do it. So if we go to effect, and it is gonna be texture. I think it's this crackulature. No, it's stained glass. So I'm gonna add a stained glass effect to this, and I'm gonna make it quite large. Since we don't need it super small. Okay. And then I'm gonna copy this, paste it. No, I'm not. I'm gonna make a expand appearance. think. And then I'm gonna do an image trace. I believe this is what I did. I'm gonna ignore a color here. I'm gonna ignore the background color, so we're gonna do ignore. Okay, so now I've just got our tracing result, and I'm gonna go to expand. So now we've got this shape here. Actually, I'm gonna leave that background. I'm doing this very quickly, but so hopefully you get the idea. Pull out my compound path. I don't need this whole mess that it made. I'm gonna make this a... We're just gonna grab a blue, right? All right, I'm gonna show you how I like to make water. I'm gonna change this to hue, saturation, and brightness. I'm gonna make this a little lighter. Right, copy and paste, flip it around. Actually, I'm gonna make this base here darker. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah. So this is how I like to make water, and you can actually, you can go in here, and you can use like a round corner on this as well, and you could also use like a transparency, like I would pull this down. Right? And the cool thing about this is you can use free transform on this. So if we want to add perspective, we can pull the sides in. Oh, I need to make sure I have everything grouped. I'm trying to work fast. So I've got a group here. I'm gonna pull the sides in. Umacorn has seen me do this before. And then I'm gonna pull this down. So you can start to add perspective to this. And then you can also you can obviously make this any shape. If I had started with like a round shape or something like that and applied that stained glass effect to it, you know, if you draw like a pool from the top down or a lake or something like that, you can do that. So this is kind of like the way that I like to make water. It's a very quick example, and you can obviously spend a lot more time on it, but there you go. Love this effect right here for all social medias. Yeah, and if you wanted to as well, you could do a couple different things with this. I'm gonna pull this off. I'm gonna show you one more thing. I think I deleted the... Oh no, I still got the compound path. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go to object. I'm gonna release this compound path. I'm gonna delete out this. See if I can find it. Let me go into this group. Oh, it already might be deleted. Okay, so you could actually also just use the shapes as well. So if you wanted to do something like this, we'll go to object and I'll do a path, offset path, and I'll go do like a negative. So you could do something like this too if you wanted to have like this type of a thing for some reason, like a little bit of a highlight on them. You know, I've moved things around too much, but if you wanted to go with like a different look, there's no way I'm gonna be able to reline this up after the fact. Oh, maybe. I don't know. You have lots of options, is what I'm saying with this kind of look. So, I just love this effect, very handy for all sorts of materials. I made rocks with it. Yeah, you could do. There's like you can do like desert looking stuff with it too. I used that before on the. If you all know the Mario poster I did a long time ago, uses a similar kind of an effect. So. And you can honestly, I think people are sleeping a little bit. there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with some of these effects. It doesn't seem very obvious at first. And honestly, when I was in school, I had a professor tell me like, you could do all kinds of things with these textures, right? If you kind of like, if you don't use them out of the box. So what I mean by that is, and we're gonna go over the grain effect a little bit during the challenges, but for these, if you kind of play around with them and you like expand them and you like actually go into some of these settings, this one would also be cool to kind of play with. I bet you could do cool stuff with this. You can, and you expand it, and you image trace it or whatever. You can use them as like textures. So don't sleep on some of this stuff, is all I'm saying. It's just a matter of like, if you use it out of the box, then everybody knows that that's the technique that you used. But if you make it, if you like customize it and make it your own, you would not even know. You'd be like, wow, somebody spent a lot of time hand drawing all of those individual shapes to make like the still reflections in water. That's not what I did. I used an effect. All right, we've gotten way off topic. And I feel like I'm not blaming you, chat. This is entirely my doing. Oh, the spoon. I keep delaying the spoon. Let me look up, I need to find like stirring spoon. Of course I'm just getting like extra long spoons instead of like I need person stirring spoon? Obviously I'm not gonna use this exactly because my ghost doesn't have fingers, at least not currently. Is it weird that I prefer the kind of mitten hands for a ghost? So my ghost is gonna have to have, I'm gonna try to keep it, I still want the arm to be relatively short, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Down. And then I'm going to use the width tool on this. So, and I'm going to make it a little bit lighter so I can see what I'm doing. Another food pun, Spoopy Ghost. Ghost. G-O-A-S-T. Are we now adding ghost toast? I don't know if that's what you meant, but that's immediately where my mind went. Yep, ghost toast. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. All right, make this lighter. Let me make this even smaller. It feels like a very long arm. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I know, the arm is quite long. Also feels like it's not quite. It needs to be shorter. Yes, my ghost has a thumb. I feel like I've struggling a bit with this hand. Khalid, welcome. I feel like in order to make this work, the hand has to be very bent. That looks better. It's still not like perfect, but that's okay. The struggle is real. I feel like I'm trying to understand how I have positioned this arm. The thumb would be underneath. Technically. So maybe we don't keep the thumb. Or does it make sense? Well, I got some votes for leaving it where it was, just moving it down. Maybe that's fine. That looks more natural. I was going for like a like a child, because the ghost he's a little short guy, and so he's got to have his arm way up high to get over the edge of the cauldron, which, so I feel like that automatically means, again, sort of like, is it a stick or spoon? Well, I don't have the spoon part yet, but I was going for like a childlike grip on it. Just, again, my thought process is the ghost is short, and if this was an adult, then they would be able to reach, or even just like, I feel like an adult might also, if this was this large, have, you know, the reason that children might like stir the way that they do is they have to like contort their arm to kind of like get up and over the cauldron. This is the thought process that runs through my mind, right? Is like, I need the arm to go up and over this edge, and so that changes the position of the arm. Like if you were stirring it, like, I feel like we need to go full camera mode for me to kind of explain this, right? Because you can't, my arm is totally cut off, so I'm gonna go string camera. All right, so I'll use this arm. So if you were an adult, right, stirring, you wouldn't have to reach to get into the pot, because this is because the ghost is low to the cauldron. They have to get their arm, their elbow, up over that edge, right? So when you do that, you have to kind of turn your arm, and so your hand ends up being upside down, versus if you were an adult stirring, you can bend your arm down lower than your shoulder, because you don't have to worry about getting it up over the edge. So that's the logic. That's what I think. Isn't a ghost floating? Yeah, but it adds to the story, right? That's the other kind of thing, is like, sometimes you have to make a decision about like, what's the story I'm trying to tell with this ghost, you know? Is this, and so that's kind of like, and then the other thing to take into consideration is like, from a visual standpoint, I need the arm to be higher than the pot, because I don't want to cover up the details in the soup. So there's a lot of like little thought processes, subconscious or conscious, that you have to think about when you're doing this kind of stuff. And it all comes back to storytelling, right? Like the I like the idea of like this ghost is like maybe a little bit nervous. I don't know. That's just me. I think ultimately we could do it, and we can still make this ghost be like a happy, sweet ghost if we want to. I think there were a couple votes in the chat, at least, for making this guy feel happier. Can make it a little sweet boy. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. And I'm not loving the eyes either. I don't want to think about that. What we do here. Also, another tip, just a character design tip. I'm gonna keep both of the faces, and we can decide later. Another little tip for you. I've made the intentional choice. I feel like I've talked about this before. I made the intentional choice on this particular character to have the eyes be really wide set and positioned lower on the head. That's a little bit of a trick to make characters look cuter, depending on how you position the eyes. So if you've ever seen other character artists, right, and you've wondered like, how come my work doesn't look very cute, right? It might just be a matter of like the positioning of the eyes. So if I were to change these and have them be kind of higher on the head here and a little bit closer together, it doesn't have quite the same impact as when I have them lower and spaced farther apart. Also, the position of the mouth. Again, all of this is kind of breaking the rules of like anatomy, right? But when it comes to character design, that's kind of essential part of the process is to like determine like what rules of anatomy you're going to break in order to give your character a specific type of personality. And so I've also made the choice when I had the mouth before. You'll notice that I kept it very large, and it's positioned a little bit lower than the eyes, right? But if you've got if you're trying to make something very like sweet and innocent and cute, I pulled the mouth up to be like pretty much where the nose would be. Would start, honestly. If we pulled it down a little bit, it would start to actually look like a nose. But I've got the mouth up higher, and it's smaller because that also kind of adds to the like, that's a cute, the character's cute, right? So there's all these kind of different tricks you can do to make a character's facial expression more exaggerated and kind of give the emotion that you're going for. But yes, I need to add the spoon, and the arm would go through the pot. Yeah, if you had the arm turned down, I would have to, in order to have the arm positioned like so, either the spoon would have to be super long, which could work, but it would cover up the ghost's face a little bit, or I'd have to move the whole character up in order to have the arm more with the elbow down. Which is an option if that was what you were going for. You'd have to kind of consider that. But kawaii, as my oldest would say, yeah, that's where the whole thing comes from. I actually just got. Let me share with you. Can you hand me the book that's in there? So I just got when I was in Pittsburgh. Unrelated, I guess, somewhat related. I guess maybe subconsciously this was on my mind.
This is squishier than I expected.
Huh?
This is squishier than I expected.
Oh yeah, it's a squishy book. I just got this book, which I was super excited about. Also, Ashrathful, I see you over on Twitch. How's it going? Wanted to say hi to you. I see you. I'm watching the chat. I try to manage all these chats. So I just got this book, Pictoplasma 2, which is a book put out by Pictoplasma, which is a character design conference. And this is a great book. If you ever find one of these in the wild, pick it up. They're quite expensive. This was not very expensive. I got this at Powell's Books, which is like a huge bookstore. But this has tons of just character design references. So these are great if you ever get a chance, even to just like flip through it for like designing characters. So you can see different ways. It's just a good like see how other people approach character design. Some of them are quite simple. You can see here the faces on these aren't particularly important as much as the size and the shapes that are used. They're using size and shape to tell the story of the character. So lots of different approaches. But if you get a chance to take a look, you can kind of pick up on a lot of that stuff just by looking at how other people approach it. Not in Pittsburgh, but in Portland. Did I say Pittsburgh? Listen, it's hard to chat and talk and whatever at the same time. Yes, no, Portland. I picked this up at Powell's Books in Portland. It was ridiculously cheap for this book. I was very excited for this find. Which means that like it's a great. They have like a whole section of just art books split by like genre, by like artists or like subjects. But yeah. Anyways, pick this book up. Great reference for character design, which is why I have it. And it hasn't even made it to my bookshelf. It's still sitting in here. But we are after 10. I would like to do, something that Pictoplasma, those folks are still upset. Yes, actually, Keys. Unfortunately, I really wanted to go this year. Pictoplasma is actually happening back in the US for the first time in like forever. It's happening in New York, but it's happening the end of October. And the tickets are pretty reasonable for a conference. And they do a lot of like hands-on stuff too, which is super cool, but I cannot make it happen. It'll be like the week I get back from Adobe Max, and that's just too much conferencing. I'll have gone to Portland for a conference, and I'll have gone to Miami for a conference, and then immediately I would have to go to New York for a conference. So I cannot make that happen. But if you get a chance and you are interested in character design work, definitely check it out. It's the oldest online art design community I know. I actually have no idea. It might be. So, is there a name next to it? Next to the book, it's just Pictoplasma. It's a collection of artists' work. It's not like one particular artist. It's a variety. Yeah, Pictoplasma 2, 2013, $168. That is not how much I paid for it. I paid like 20 bucks for that at Powell's. So I was like, this is a steal, I have to get it when I got the chance. I would love to do a character design channel. I feel like a character design would be more of a pro tips type of a thing. But just because you have to have a little bit of technical knowledge in order for us to get into character design stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to start to teach basics and also cover character. I've done it before with the, we did like an avatar challenge. We did a couple. We did like the African dog, illustrating from reference. And we also did, we did the taking your sketches to Illustrator as well with the dogs. And we kind of talked a little bit, so. It was apparently September 19th and 20th. I thought it was October 20th. Because I got confused when I went to their site too. I'm pretty sure it's October 20th, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I already missed it. Maybe I misread September and thought it was October. Well, look at that, I missed it. Oh well, I was in Portland at the time. But maybe they'll be back next year. They typically do this, it's typically in like Europe. So, looks like they're coming to London November 8th. So if you can make it out to London November 8th to Pictoplasma, the tickets are pretty reasonable. And there's a lot of really great stuff if you're into character design. All right, I've talked for way too long. I'm gonna head out. On my doorstep. Yeah, right. You should, if you're interested in character design. Also, just in general, they've got a lot of like thought, like thinking workshops, if that makes sense. Like mindset workshops that like help you, like with like exercises, take you in like the mindset around. Their workshops are very hands-on, I guess is what I'm saying. And you'll get a lot of value out of those. But all fascinating stuff. Yeah, so we're gonna keep working on this little ghosty as much as possible in October. Like I said, I'm heading to Adobe Max, so I won't be streaming from my Behance during that time. And I'll probably be super busy that week. But I'm also hosting the challenges. So, what's the new stream time? Well, currently I've been doing Fridays 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central, so that's been kind of my spot. I haven't been doing as much weekend streams just because I've been super busy on the weekends, so I haven't been able to do that. Yeah, maths. Sorry, I don't know what that is in all the various time zones. I know it's been better for folks like not in the US. I know that it's a better time slot, so it gives more people a chance to see me. I know it's a little bit difficult for some people, like I think it ends up being 6 a.m. Pacific, which isn't great. But, you know, I'm doing my best. Eventually at some point I'll get back to streaming, you know, my goal is to get back to streaming more than once a week, but for now that's all that I can really promise, if that, with all the traveling and stuff that I've been doing. But also, I also really need to get my website updated. I want to get like a section on my website that has like, here's all the challenges I've done and all the starter files and everything, but Ali saying you are looking like the sister of a Framer University owner. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I have something in common with. I'm sure, maybe there are other people. Certainly other people that have my name on the internet, as we've discovered. And also certainly other people that work with Adobe that have the same name as me. But anyways, I'll be back I'm going to try to be back next Friday to continue working on this. So it'll be the same time and same place next week. One would think the closed caption can recognize the word Behance properly. Oh no, Keys. I get Behance, like B-E-E, hands, at H-A-N-D-S, which is kind of funny to me, but not Behance, but also kind of humorous. I always have to correct that on, like, when I post to TikTok or stories, I have to correct it from Behance to Behance. Yeah, I don't know. Evie's laughing. All right, I'm gonna head out. I will see you guys next week, same time, same place, working on a little ghosty. Come join me for some spooky Halloween October Illustrator challenges. Those will be starting next Thursday. So those will be Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific on Behance and on the Adobe Live YouTube, and they'll be through the duration of the month. Although we're taking a break for Adobe Max. So yeah, all right. Have a great weekend, everybody, and hopefully I will see you next week and next weekend. All right, bye.